Ever had your own family celebrate your failure? I walked into my parents' house and saw balloons. Not birthday balloons, not welcome home balloons. They said better luck next time in big silver letters. There was champagne on the table. My brother was laughing. My sister had her phone out, recording. My mother smiled at me like she just won something. "We heard the news," she said. "About the layoff." My father raised his glass. "To humble beginnings," he said. Again. They clinked glasses. They actually toasted. They were celebrating the fact that I'd lost my job. I stood there in the doorway, my bag over my shoulder. They had no idea what was inside it. Drop your time zone in the comments. I want to know who's watching this at 2 a.m, because what happened next changed everything. I walked to the dining table. I set down my bag. And I pulled out an envelope. Let me back up. I'm the oldest of 3 kids. I'm also the family disappointment. Not because I failed, because I succeeded. I was the one who went to college. My brother and sister didn't. They stayed local, worked with their hands, took over small family businesses. I moved to the city, got a degree in computer science, landed a job at a Fortune 500 tech company. Every promotion I earned was a joke at Thanksgiving. Every raise I got was met with comments like, "Must be nice." When I bought my first car, my father said, "Corporate money doesn't last." When I bought my condo, my mother asked when I'd settle down and have a real life. They didn't come to my graduation. They didn't visit my place. They made it very clear that my success embarrassed them. My first boss taught me something important. He said, "Document everything. You never know when you'll need proof." I took that advice seriously. I kept every performance review, every email, every offer letter. I tracked my compensation, my bonuses, my stock options. Not because I'm paranoid, because I knew someday someone would try to rewrite my story. I worked at that tech company for 12 years. I climbed from junior developer to senior director, and then the layoffs came. They weren't performance-based. The whole division was restructured. I got the call on a Tuesday. By Wednesday, my brother had texted the family group chat. By Thursday, my mother had planned a party. The layoff wasn't a tragedy to them. It was proof I'd been wrong all along. So there I was, standing in my childhood home, staring at a table full of people who wanted me to fail. My mother poured me a glass of champagne. "Sit down, honey," she said. "Let's talk about your options." I sat. My father leaned forward. "You can move back into your old room," he said. "We didn't touch it." My brother grinned. "You could work for me," he said. "I need a guy to help with landscaping. Minimum wage, but hey, it's something." My sister laughed. "Do you need to borrow money?" she asked. "Because I can spot you a few hundred." I didn't say anything. My mother reached across the table and touched my hand. "This is good for you," she said. "You needed to be humbled." My father nodded. "Pride comes before a fall," he said. "Maybe now you'll understand what real work is." I looked around the table. Every face was smiling. Not with sympathy, with satisfaction. "So when are you moving back?" my father asked. I took a breath. "I'm not," I said. The smiles faded. My brother laughed, but it sounded nervous. "What are you going to do then?" he asked. "Live off savings?" My sister rolled her eyes. "You always think you're better than us," she said. My father's jaw tightened. "Don't be stupid," he said. "You don't have a job. You need help." I looked him in the eye. "I don't need anything from you," I said. He slammed his hand on the table. "Then prove it." The room got loud. My brother stood up. "You can't prove anything," he said. "You got fired." "Laid off," I corrected. "Same thing," my sister said. My mother started crying. "We're trying to help you," she said. "And you throw it in our faces." My father crossed his arms. "You've always been selfish," he said. "Always thought the rules didn't apply to you." I felt my phone buzz in my pocket. I ignored it. My brother saw me glance down. "Bill collectors already?" he asked. My sister laughed again. I felt the walls closing in. Every word they said was designed to make me small, to make me doubt myself. For a second I thought about just leaving, letting them win, letting them believe whatever story they wanted. But then I remembered the envelope in my bag. The severance letter, the stock options, the offers waiting in my inbox. I remembered 12 years of work. 12 years of saving, planning, building something they refused to see. I thought about walking out. I could have, but I didn't. I reached into my bag. I pulled out the severance letter, and I slid it across the table. "Read it," I said. My father picked it up. He scanned the first page. His face went pale. My mother leaned over his shoulder. Her mouth opened. No sound came out. My brother grabbed the letter from my father's hands. He read it out loud. In recognition of your 12 years of service, you are entitled to severance pay equal to 18 months of base salary. He stopped. 18 months? He said. I nodded. Plus accrued paid time off, I said. I had 4 weeks banked. My sister stared at me. How much do you make? She asked. I told her. The number hung in the air. It was more than my brother's landscaping business grossed in a year. It was more than my sister and her husband made combined. My mother sat down hard. This has to be a mistake, she said. I shook my head. It's not. My father's hands were shaking. That's just salary, he said quietly. What about benefits? I smiled. They're covering my health insurance for 6 months, I said. And I keep my laptop and phone. My brother threw the letter on the table. So what? He said. You got a payout. It'll run out. I reached into my bag again. That's just the first page, I said. My sister's face went red. You're rubbing this in our faces, she said. No, I said. You asked me to prove it. So I am. My mother looked up at me. There's more? She whispered. I pulled out the rest of the packet. A lot more. You'd think that would be the end of it. You'd think they'd congratulate me. Apologize, maybe. They didn't. My father stood up. You owe this family, he said. I blinked. Oh, you what? We supported you through college, he said. That was a lie. I had scholarships and loans. They didn't pay a cent. My brother stepped closer. I could actually use some of that money, he said. My business needs new equipment. $50,000 would change everything. I stared at him. You want $50,000? I said. Family helps family, my father said. My mother nodded. You've always had more than you need, she said. It's only right to share. My sister crossed her arms. If you don't help us, I'm telling everyone, she said. Telling them what? I asked. That you're flaunting your wealth while Mom and Dad live on a fixed income, she said. That you refuse to help your own brother save his business. I felt anger rising in my chest. Not panic, anger. I don't owe you anything, I said. My father's face went dark. Then prove you deserve it, he said. Show us everything. The whole package. Or admit you're lying. He pointed at the papers on the table. Show us your bank accounts. Your retirement. Everything. My brother nodded. Yeah, if you're so successful, prove it. I looked at each of them. I could have said no. I should have just left, but I wanted them to see it. All of it. I spread the rest of the documents on the table like a hand of cards. Fine, I said. I laid out the stock option agreement. 47,000 shares, I said. Vested immediately upon termination. My brother picked it up. His hands were shaking. What's the stock price? He asked. I told him. He did the math in his head. His face went white. That's over $300,000, he whispered. 310, actually, I said. I laid out the next page. My 401k statement. 12 years of contributions, I said. Employer match. Market growth. My mother looked at the number at the bottom. 420,000, she read aloud. I nodded. My sister grabbed the severance letter again. So the severance is 650,000, she said. The stock is 310. The 401k is 420. She looked up at me. That's over $1 million. I smiled. 1.1 million, I said. Give or take. The room went silent. My father sat down slowly. You're a millionaire, he said. I've been building toward this for years, I said. While you were planning this party, I was planning my future. My brother's jaw tightened. And you're not going to share any of it. No, I said. I'm not. My mother's face crumpled. How can you be so cruel? She asked. I looked at her. You threw a party when I lost my job, I said. And I'm the cruel one? Nobody answered. I looked around the table. And then I saw it. A stack of mail on the counter. Red envelopes. Past due notices. I walked over and picked one up. Third notice. Business loan default, I read aloud. My brother lunged for it, but I stepped back. You're about to lose your business, I said. He didn't deny it. I looked at my sister. And your husband lost his job, didn't he? Her face went red. That's none of your business, she said. But my money is? I asked. I turned to my parents. What about you two? How's retirement really going? My father looked away. My mother wiped her eyes. I understood it then. They didn't throw this party because they hated me. They threw it because they needed me to fail. Because my success made their stagnation unbearable. Because if I came crawling back, they'd have control again. And they'd have access to my money. This was never about humility. It was about leverage. You wanted me to need you, I said quietly. My father met my eyes. You always acted like you didn't, he said. I don't, I said. The silence stretched. My mother broke it. So what are you going to do? She asked. Just leave us all behind? I picked up my documents. I put them back in my bag. Yes, I said, and then I told them my plan. I stood at the head of the table, calm, controlled. I'm not giving you loans, I said. I'm not investing in failing businesses. I'm not moving back home. My brother started to argue, but I held up my hand. I'm taking 3 months off, I said. Then I'm accepting one of the 4 job offers I already have. I pulled out my phone. I opened my email. I turned the screen toward them. 4 unread messages, all from executive recruiters. The subject lines were visible. VP Engineering, 200,000 base. Director of Product, 240,000. Senior Architect, 275,000. My sister's mouth fell open. You already have offers? She whispered. I've had them for a week, I said. I was laid off. Not unemployable. My mother reached for me. You can't just leave us, she said. I stepped back. You already left me, I said. Years ago. My father stood. So that's it? He asked. You're just going to walk away? I shouldered my bag. No, I said. I'm going to give you one more chance. They all looked at me. I'm hosting a family dinner next week, I said. Neutral location, my treat. I headed for the door. If you show up, we can talk about boundaries, about what a real relationship looks like. I paused in the doorway. If you don't, we're done. I left. Behind me, nobody said a word. 1 week later, I walked into a private dining room at the nicest restaurant in town. White tablecloths, soft lighting, a table set for 15. My parents were there. My brother and sister, their spouses, and the extended family. Aunts, uncles, cousins. People who'd heard both sides of the story and wanted to see what would happen. I arrived last. I was wearing a suit I'd bought 3 years ago after a promotion my family never acknowledged. I looked good. I felt better. I sat down at the head of the table. A waiter brought wine. I ordered a bottle my father couldn't pronounce. When everyone had a glass, I stood. Thank you for coming, I said. I want to talk about honesty. My mother shifted in her seat. I pulled out my tablet. Last week, my immediate family threw a party to celebrate my layoff, I said. A few cousins glanced at my parents. They assumed I was broke, that I'd failed. I tapped the tablet. I want to show you what they didn't know. I projected a single slide onto the screen behind me. It was simple, clean, just numbers. Total severance plus stock plus 401k. $1.1 million. Brother's annual business revenue, $80,000. Sister's household income, $95,000. Parents' combined yearly retirement income, $62,000. The math didn't need commentary. My uncle leaned forward. You made over $1 million in severance? He asked. Yes, I said. My aunt turned to my mother. And you threw a party to mock that? My mother's face went red. My brother stood up. This is exactly what I'm talking about, he said, rubbing it in our faces. I didn't raise my voice. You asked me to prove it, I said. So I did. I advanced the slide. 4 job offers. Average salary $240,000 per year. Relocation budget included. Start dates within 60 days. I'm not here for an apology, I said. I'm here to set boundaries. I looked at my parents. I'm moving across the country. I'm accepting the VP role in Seattle. My mother's eyes filled with tears. Future contact will be limited, I said. Holiday calls. Birthdays, maybe. No financial discussions. Ever. I looked at my brother and sister. I hope your business stabilizes. I hope you find work, but I won't be your safety net. I turned off the tablet. If you want a relationship with me, it will be on my terms. Respect, boundaries, honesty. I pulled cash from my wallet and left it on the table. Enough to cover the whole meal. Dinner's on me, I said, and I walked out. Behind me, the room erupted. But I didn't look back. 3 months later, I was standing in my new apartment in Seattle. Floor-to-ceiling windows. View of the Sound. Furniture I picked out myself. I started my VP role the week before. The company flew me out first class. Put me up in a hotel for 2 weeks while I found a place. My signing bonus alone was more than my father's annual retirement income. I didn't tell them that. I didn't tell them much of anything. 2 days after the dinner, my mother sent a text. We may have overreacted. Can we talk? I responded with a list of boundaries. No surprise visits. No financial questions. No guilt trips. She read it. She didn't reply for a week. Then, okay. My father never apologized. But he stopped calling. My brother's business didn't fail. He sold off equipment, downsized, and stabilized. He posted about it on Facebook, called it a new chapter. He never mentioned me. I didn't expect him to. My sister went no contact, told the cousins I was heartless. Most of them didn't buy it. They were at the dinner. They saw the numbers. A few extended family members reach out now and then. I'm polite, friendly even, but I keep my distance. I learned something important. You don't owe anyone your success, especially not people who celebrated your fall. 6 weeks after I moved, I started a scholarship fund. It's for first-generation college students in my hometown. Anonymous. No family involvement. No naming rights. Just help for kids who want to build something different. The local paper ran a story about it. My mother saw it. She called. Was this you? She asked. Does it matter? I said. She was quiet for a long time. I'm proud of you, she said. It was the first time she'd ever said that. I told her thank you. But I didn't tell her it was me. Some things don't need to be claimed. I didn't need revenge. I needed distance. I needed control over my own story. And I got it. The win wasn't the money. It was the freedom to choose who gets access to my life. Protect your peace like you protect your portfolio. Document everything. Set boundaries. Walk away when you need to. And never let anyone rewrite your worth. Have you ever had to set boundaries with family over money? Drop your story in the comments. I read everyone. If this hit home, subscribe. I post stories like this every week. And hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. This has been a fictionalized dramatization, not legal or financial advice. They celebrated my layoff. I celebrated my freedom. And I never looked back.